Good morning, everyone. It is October 23rd, Sunday, and this is the third episode of the Knit Pretty podcast. My name is Leighton. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Zella318, and now there is a Ravelry group for the Knit Pretty podcast, so please go over there, join the group, introduce yourselves. I'm pretty sure coming up soon we'll start doing giveaways if I have an idea in mind. So go over and check that out. So this weekend was Mizzou homecoming here in Columbia, Missouri, and I just decided to go to the yarn store instead. Last year at Mizzou homecoming was the start of the protests that ended with Wolf's resignation, and all of the loveliness that followed after that, the threats, and so I'm still a little shell-shocked from that a year later because it was bad. No other word for it. And we were able to survive it as a community, but I didn't really want to go back. Especially when I haven't left, I haven't found a job. I just want to be happy when I go back for homecoming. And so that was really the big thing for me, was making sure that I could avoid Mizzou homecoming, because Mizzou is in the center of town and getting around it to the yarn store is very difficult. But it was good yesterday. I got to be at the store, thoughtfully arranged things, so it was fun. So with that, let us start. What have I been working on? The main thing I have been working on is my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along the Building Blocks shawl. No, I'm not in the middle of a row. I'm happy about this. So I think the last time you saw it, I was working on Clue 1. I have finished Clue 1. I have finished Clue 2. And now I'm barely started on Clue 3. So and look at that pretty brioche. Originally, when I saw the knit along and I knew it was a mystery, I'm like, he's going to put brioche in there, and I may throw it across the wall and then repurpose the yarn. It was in little sections, so it was really fun, like just, ooh, I get to do a section of brioche, and then I get to move on. And now you see Izzy. Monster. I rearranged so he's still trying to figure everything out and the best ways to annoy Mom. So, but he has his windows open. So again, I'm loving this pattern. I am really enjoying it. And then this is Clue 3, which it's kind of like the worm hat. It's the pearl bumps and then the stockinette. Well, the garter bumps and the stockinette, whereas that was purple. Versus stockinette and stockinette. But it's still really, really cute. And it is getting big. I am scrunched up on 60-inch needles on a 60-inch table. Big. And I'm loving it. And I think I'm going to do the large size because I think I have enough yarn to do the large size. We shall see next week, but I'm loving this pattern. So I'm using this gray is Tosh like Dr. Zhivago Sky. The craziness right here is the Electric Rainbow for Tosh Light. The purple. Here is Clematis. I've been saying Clematis. It's Clematis in Happy Fuzzy. And then the gorgeous pinky orange is in Yarn Garden's Art Walk in Roses from several years ago. And so I'm really happy with it. And these are being knit on my Try to Do 4s. And it is housed in my Disney Villainesses bag. So you have Cruella, Evil Queen, and there's a much better, and Maleficent. I just put checkerboard fabric on the inside. It's one of my bigger bags, and I'm just liking my two alternate sizes right now, the smalls and the big, and the monster bags. So I'm really enjoying how much yarn this can hold. This is holding 4 balls of yarn caked up, and these are not small cakes because I wind them twice so that they are nice and fluffy and they don't strain the yarn too much. And this large shawl, and I have room. I have room in it. So most people could probably fit a sweater. I fit shawls into this. There's still room in this. It's not packed. It's not packed by any means. So there has been some downtime between clues for that, or I get bored and tired of it, and so I started my mom's shawl. So I'm gonna grab that. And it is being housed in the bag that I promised would be finished by this episode, and that is my Hogwarts bag. And on the inside, it's snitch. Yeah. It says I open at the close. Yeah, there's a snitch. Alright. So this I had to do some fiddling with, and I have now found out that I am off in my counts, and it's kind of a mess. But, and seeing as how this needs to get done for Christmas, but I have Stephen West's knit along, I have the O-Loops knit along going on. This, I don't know when it will get some love, but it will get love. And so I just did the first part of it. I'm on the first lace section. I had to make a decision about how I was going to do this gradient because it is 3 and 3 for the gradient. So there is the green gradient, the lime green gradient, which goes from this really, really bright one to just slightly toned down, and this blue that goes from kind of this dark medium blue down to like almost like midnight. Here it is. Like hurts your eyes blue. So I figured out how I want to do it and how I want to deal with it. So it should be good. I have one of my stitch markers on there to show my progress and show what side I'm on. And these are my Shrinky Dink progress keepers and stitch markers. That's just a picture of the Chibuli glass back home in Oklahoma City. One of his ceilings, and so what I love doing when I go there is just taking a ton of photos and taking bits and pieces of it. So that will get love when I'm not doing other stuff and not working on this big massive fiddle. And I'm really enjoying it. But I'm just frustrated with things and I have to redo some stuff. Izzy's about to knock stuff off if I don't mess with him in a minute. So silly kitty cats. Silly kitty cats. So yeah, I did rearrange this room. I bought a new sewing table, so that will help. Because the other one I was using was kind of a camp table. And so whenever I was sewing, it would bounce. and that was screwing up the tension in my machine. I had to switch the bobbin around, the spool of thread around, not the bobbin. It was a mess. So I rearranged this. Yes, this. I'm still getting used to the camera, which way is which, so I'm sorry for that. So I had to rearrange that and cut it up and make it taller. So he's still investigating. So if you were on my Instagram earlier this week, on Monday, almost a week ago, the weather in Missouri was crazy. Sunday night had been nice. It had been in the 70s. I could wear long sleeve shirts and stuff and be okay. I mean, I'd be a little on the warmer side, but I'd be fine. Monday came, it was 90 degrees outside. 90! And I have a foot that kind of plays arthritic, so I was pretty much lame up for a whole day. And so I decided to work on my socks some more. So, they're in this new project bag I made. R2D2 and CP3 are sugar skulls. I love it. It's adorable. It has a clean inside. So I'm actually a lot further on my socks than I ever thought I was going to be with all the craziness going on. And so, I'm not sure. Have you my socks? I do them toe up one at a time. So I do get second sock syndrome a lot, but we'll work on that. These are on my Zhivago size 0s. And for me, that makes a really good sock. Partially because I really don't want to go down to triple aughts. I tend to bend my needles a lot. And so the fact that these are still straight. No, they're not. They're straighter than they could be, but they're not. Look at that gap. This one's bent. Okay, so I'm hard on my needles. They bend, guys. Everyone was at the shop has been oohing and ahhing over like these Zhivago mini sets, where it's the smaller sets. It goes down, I think, to triple aughts. And I felt them in my hands, and I could snap them like a twig, and they're made of stainless steel. I kill small needles, but I don't want to do larger socks and go up to like 3s. So these are just going to be plain vanilla socks, and it's being knit on in my Zauberball, the crazy Zauberball, which has all these gorgeous greens, purples, and pinks, and aquas. And the color is Blasser Schimmer. I have a whole side of my family that would be embarrassed about that pronunciation. Very embarrassed. The Germans in my family would be embarrassed that I cannot pronounce German. But, oh well. So, that is what's living in here. And what I am enjoying knitting on that. I just wanted something easy, and it was small because the Stephen West is getting so big, that it takes me about 10 minutes, probably less than that, but at least 5 minutes to get through a row. And that's one side of the row. So it's taking longer and longer. And he does recognize that, making clues less So the first time it was 4 sections, the second time it was 2 sections, and technically I could stop after this one if I wanted to do the small section, but I want to do a small Stephen West shawl. I know some people, but if I'm in for it, I'm doing the whole thing. And Izzy, if you jump on me, I am going to kill you. My foot is up with a heat pack because of all these problems I've been having, and I think he's about to jump over and investigate. I've been trying to get him to do this for a while, but now he's finally investigating. So he's a silly cat. I love him. If he tries to get up on this thing, are you a fearless kitty? Come here. Are you a fearless kitty? What? Oh, I can do it. Holding you like this when I'm sitting down. I have no problem with this. Alright, so I started a new project. Here's like that. All of the stuff for the podcast is right here. He's in it. Really take a sip of my tea before you spill it. This one's cut cute. It was made especially for me by a good friend of our family who does a lot of pottery, so I love this cup. It was part of my Christmas present. Last year. And she made one for all of us. So my dad rides bicycles. He has his normal bicycle. And so she did that and music on one side, and then and it's in blue. And my mom has this recumbent tricycle. And she put that on it. And then flowers on the other side. So I got a kitty cat because she knew I had just adopted Izzy, like 6 months before or something. And then the ball of yarn and the needle sticking through it. Yes, I am sorry for the distracted Leighton because there is a crazy kitty cat running around. But he's my baby. I love him. Okay, so back to knitting. There's a notebook in there, and that's why I'm like, I felt something really quick. I'm like, there's no real pattern in there because I'm designing this. And I'm just at the brim so I can show you everything. Oh, I am in the middle of this though. And this is a hat. It's going to be a hat for a good friend of mine. Who currently goes to school in Omaha. We did our master's together here at Mizzou, and we became thick as thieves. Then he's getting his PhD in social policy from University of Nebraska at Omaha. And so I was texting him the other day, and I was like, because I was in a hat mood, I wanted to start another hat. I was like, do you need another hat? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what colors? And he's like, red and white. And I just so happen to have red and white in Manos. Maxima. That's what I have it in. So this is Manos Maxima in Fire Engine Red. And it's very true red. It's like a good. little less blue. Yeah. And then just natural. Just pretty natural. So there's going to be some mosaic knitting in this hat, and it is just going to be a nice slouchy hat because it gets much colder in Omaha than it does here in Central Missouri. So that is what I'm working on, and it is living in the bag that can't keep a project in it, basically. This is what I was going to keep Stephen West in. Stephen West became too big. So this bag is my Lip-Syncing Ladybug Japanese bag. They're really, really pretty inside. That I love. And I just want to keep using it because it's a good two-stand project bag. You can hear the clinking note. But the reason the notebook's in there is because it is one of my design workshops, and it is a super junior Korean boy group super junior. I got this while I was a teacher there. I got this because I needed a notebook while I was on vacation, and they had that at the airport. And because I wasn't really a big super junior fan at the time, I've gone in and out of love with them. They were the first group I ever discovered of Korean pop, but not my favorite at the time. Not my favorite now either. Okay. Thinking about next. Let's do finished objects. Finished objects in my Slytherin bag, my small Slytherin bag. There was living. Oh, those are my Retki hat by Laura Peters. It is done. I need to block this. I really think I need to block this because it is. It may have been something in the yarn, it may be something else, but I think it'll loosen up. Maybe it was the fact that I was holding two double. I think I'm calling it out exactly. It is not as slouchy as the pictures, and this is even with me adding stuff. I think it's me. So. It's still cute. But it's not my typical uber slouchy hat. It's really close to that here, and I don't normally do that as much. I still like it though. It's still really pretty. This is in the Alexandra's Craft yarn. It is her Black Butte base in the Kaleidoscope colorway, and the Black Butte is the merino, yak, and silk base, where it is 60%. Merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk, which genuinely could be contributing to this lack of slouch. Honestly. That much yak and silk makes it not as bouncy and full. So, and maybe holding it double still didn't give me the right gauge. Just all my fault. But it's still pretty. I like it a lot, and I think I will wear it during the winter. Especially when I need something closer to my head. I have a lot left over. I was being cautious. I have a lot left over. Granny! So as I have said and I've shown you, I am doing the Harry Potter knit along for O Loops. And next month is dark and light. You have to submit something with dark and light colors, or colors that have things to do with dark and light. You have to use at least 30% of 2 skeins. And so I have been looking at this particular shawl for a while, and when I saw the yarn Pro Loops and I saw yarn at my local yarn shop, they had to be paired together. They had to be paired together. And this pattern spoke to me, and I'm really happy that I can do it. So, yeah. So I am planning on doing the Cascadian shawl. By Bedigan. And I'm planning to do it in this. And this is neon. This is neon. Like, this is muted on screen, but it is neon. So everything is like bright and bold. And then this, like, so, purples are hard on my computer. Okay. Good to know. But this is called Nymph by 3 Irish Girls and Adorn. It is hard to look at. It's a hard to look at purple. And so those are going together. Me too. And it will be living in my Lip Syncing Ladybug Slytherin bag. Because I am a Slytherin. I was not only sorted into that house, but I am a true Slytherin. Okay, I think that's all on the knitting. Obviously I got some sewing done this week. And I need probably 8 bags this week. At least 8 bags. And I don't keep a lot of them. I gave a few away. I sold a few, and so I kept 1. 2. Kept 2. But I also did another one that is really important. What is this? It is one of my big project bags. And it is really cute. Mermaid and octopus and swimmer fabric. And on the inside it has like kind of a shell. I think this is going to be mine still. I like it a lot. A lot. I have more of that fabric. So making another bag is going to be possibly fun. Probably not. So I keep saying so a lot. So. Let's go to acquisitions. No bowling. Alright. So, alrighty then. This week, on Thursday, my local yarn shop got in a new shipment of 3 Irish Girls. And I have been known to whimper when I see colors coming out of the box. But this one this one wasn't the one that made me whimper. But it was still the one I'm going, oh. These are pretty. It is Mr. Snow. I just have the one skein of it. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But it has to be mine. Partially because when I went back only yesterday, on Saturday, There were only 2 skeins that left, and there were 6. And there were 5 when I left on Thursday. So this is again Adorn sock, and they have switched their base a little bit, so it's a lot softer and swooshier. Used to Adorn sock used to about a year ago be harsh, but now even though it's 80-20, it's nice and swooshy and squishy. Very sweet, and very still has the same ply. It still has everything. It's not as harsh anymore. Not that it was bad before, but it was all about the colors before. And then the colors that made me want them. This was at the bottom of the box. Oh, those are not true colors, but you get the picture. Look at the green at the bottom of it. It's called Creme de la Creme, and Okay. Yeah, I not love this color. I think it's pretty. I really love this color. Sorry. I am turning into a 2-year-old with this color. It makes me happy. So that was those were my personal acquisitions. Over, so it isn't like right at my elbow, so I can knock it over in an instant. I did the Halloween swap with his own loops, and I got so much fun with the color. I really did. So I used to talk with those from the box. First off, from as many sugar skull things, I love Day of the Dead. I really do, and I love Halloween. I love Day of the Dead. But the reason I love Day of the Dead is all the colors and how it's infused not just orange and black into the holiday that I love. And so she sent me this little figurine, which will now go on the bookcase as he can't reach yet. They're so cute. I love them. I love them. They're all glittery, and so I'm going to have glitter all over me for the next 2 weeks. But I love them. I think they're gorgeous and really cute. She also sent me this. I think is adorable, and again, we'll go on to the bookshelf Izzy can't reach. Yes, half of my life is spent trying to figure out which bookshelf Izzy can't reach. And she also sent me some really cute fanny packs. So that one's like blood, and that one's pumpkin. I haven't tried them yet, but I feel like one of them will be going into my green bag. Maybe in a baggie itself, or just they'll be at my desk. I think that's probably the safer place. And also, he sent me this really cute notions pouch. And yes, I already have stuff in it. I have the important things, stitch markers, yarn needles, and lip gloss. A knitter's essentials. The only thing left is like having a pair of scissors in there. And then she also sent me this cute little mini skein of the party colors that it's really cute. And I need to pull out my blanket. I need to pull out my lighter skirted blanket because I do have one. and I was working on it, and I have a lot of stuff that can be put in it, and I think it would be really cute. Just to have it, because I do have one. Izzy's now under my turn. That's what this episode is going to be, the Izzy episode. Because he is being a scamp. But I think I'm going to pull out the blanket again and start working on it, because that would be really nice. That would be like a tick off of like, I finished something this week. And because I have put it down and picked it up and put it down, I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm going to knit on this, like potato chip knitting. I find Stephen Weston's potato chip knitting. I find doing panels of garter or stockinette between lace sections to potato chip knitting. So, but I think I will pull it out again. I have one blanket already that's knitted, but it is a knitted log cabin blanket. And it is in crazy neon colors. I'll try and find a picture of it, or I'll find a picture of it and show you guys sometime. It is crazy, and it is wonderful. Ooh, I have pictures of, since this is the Izzy episode, I have pictures of Izzy wrapped up in the blanket. The back of the pocket. I love it. I sat there and cuddled with it for a couple of minutes. It is drop dead gorgeous. She died, my partner died this herself. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous lime green, that's natural, that's kind of line, and then this gorgeous black. It is perfect. It's perfect. Oh, and that's I think I was watching Pam's craft knits, and she was asking if people save their yarn for special occasions, like their handbags of yarn. And I don't buy a lot of what I think people would think of mass-produced yarn. Well, I consider even Madeline Tosh and Three Irish Girls and Holiday to be slightly more indie. They do have a larger production, but it's still all hand-dyed. Most people have to wait for Madeline Tosh. If you are ordering as a store, you have to wait several weeks. Three Irish Girls has around 6 to 8 week turnaround to get yarn, even if you are ordering as a civilian and not as a store for wholesale. I still consider them very much indie dyers. So in Zen's the same way. But this kind of stuff, where it's truly a one-of-a-kind and from someone very special, this I will have to find the perfect project for. But it will be the perfect one. Or I will find the perfect one. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is all from my thought package. On to media. Let's call it that. So I have again picked up A Discovery of Witches, and I will probably end up reading it for the rest of the day. It is wonderful. It is amazing. I'm actually at the point where I think I stopped reading it last time. So some of this is familiar, some of this isn't familiar anymore. And I'm almost done, guys. Like, I just have that much to read. Or something around there. That's what I thought. Yes, I'm very happy. I'm happy that I'm at that point again. Because I want to go into the next book. I really do. I think that it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited. The other thing, I have been watching. Oh. If you can hear him, Izzy just knocked over some drawers in the living room, jumping up to the bookshelf. He is now crying because he wants me to know he did something. It is the episode of the cat. So I did public policy, and I'm not going to talk about the debates. It's just drinking games are always good for those. And talking to your mother while you're watching it and just going, and she's hearing your reactions, and she's like, okay, I'm glad I'm not watching it. But the other thing I was watching this week was the Rocky Horror remake, aka something that never needed to be remade. For what it was, which was a remake, it wasn't bad. For me, as someone who has basically lived and breathed the original, it was horrible. I have seen it twice, and my reaction to it was okay. I did like the parts where they would cut to the audience in the theater who would be doing like the normal Rocky Horror thing of like what people do when they go to movie theaters to watch Rocky Horror. And that I liked. That was the part that I liked the most. And so to me, it was more of an homage. They made it so much more melodic than it was in the original movie. No. It was supposed to be campy. It was supposed to be all these things. Susan Sarandon can't sing. And so it was not as good. But it wasn't going to be to me ever. It was going to be not as great. So that's where I am and where everything has been left off. And so I'm really enjoying everything too. And I will see you next week because I think Sundays are going to work for me. So until then, bye.